reboot. This word can either make a group of people very happy or it can enrage a different group of people. A reboot can give an old show a chance to be in the spotlight once again. And in the last decade, reboots have become a very popular way to bring back older franchises back to life. Whether it be an old sitcom, cartoon, or movie, these things have been everywhere. And one of the biggest reboot producers as of now has been Netflix. Fuller House, The Magic School Bus, multiple sitcoms, and much, much more. My point is, reboots make money. And what is the best show to bring back in the modern day to make said money? Yes, Johnny Test is clearly one of the best pieces of media ever created. I do understand why they did this. People do have their problems with Johnny Test, but it was a very popular show on Cartoon Network for quite some time. And with cartoon reboots getting more and more popular because of a certain cartoon, so it was inevitable this show would eventually come back. Now, was the original good in the first place? In my personal opinion, it was pretty mediocre. Yeah, it had its moments of humor, but it was overcrowded with fart jokes and nonsense for little kids. But overall, it was about a 5 out of 10. Nothing truly special. So, will the reboot be better? Alright, this is Joe Bama, completely before the Johnny Test reboot watching. This is just my quick little recording before I watch the series. So, I'm gonna check back in after I've watched the entire thing, or the entirety of the season 1, and yeah, let's see how this goes afterwards. It wasn't that bad. Let's get into it. Something the original show had down was that really good theme song. And so what do we got for the reboot?
He's action-packed and sister-telling, Dookie dog for living hard, triple clone, T-Rex, royal throne, Johnny X, you never know what's coming next. Johnny Test.
Yeah, compared to the big over-the-top theme song the first one had, I am very not impressed here. It's such a weird switch to me. If you're gonna make a whole new theme song for Johnny Test, at least make it longer. It's way shorter than the original too, which coming back into Johnny Test was a little bit disappointing. But besides that, let's address the most controversial thing about this reboot, the art style. Now, at first glance, I really hated this. The original show had really thick black lines that made all the characters very noticeable, compared to the backgrounds at least. Now all the characters, and especially the backgrounds, have turned very vibrant and colorful, which is a very weird change from the original show's darker backgrounds. But after watching the reboot, it did really grow on me a bit. It works very well on some characters, but not very much on others. For example, the main characters like Johnny and Dookie really benefit from this whole style change very well. Makes them look nice and shiny. They just have a clean, polished look to them. But someone like Bling Bling Boy, on the other hand, looked way better in the original. It makes him look way less detailed, and the shiny factor just makes him look like a rubber ball. I feel like I could throw him and he'd bounce. But besides the art style, I really do like the new animation. Especially in the action scenes, everyone looks so fluid in their movements. It is a really good improvement. In the original show, they were never super stiff, but this is definitely a noticeable change for the better. Let's ignore all the dumb stuff like stylistic choices and animation. Let's get to the main thing everyone remembers and loved about this show. The best thing and the best aspect out of the entire show. The whip cracks.
Oh, I love gum. Gum. Stop chewing gum. Nothing good comes from chewing gum, John.
Well, thankfully gone are the whip cracks of the original, but what are they replaced with? Really familiar sounding music cues. Wait 1 second! I see, Butch Hartman has been sending his music minion to other places, huh? I see. So now instead of all the whip cracks from before, we are stuck with the Fairly Odd Parents leftovers, which if I'm being honest is not a better switch at all. Now whenever I'm watching this show, I'm just constantly reminded of the Fairly Odd Parents. On a different note though, one of my favorite parts about this whole reboot is that they cared enough to get almost all of the original voice actors back. Dookie is the only one that I know got a new voice actor, But even then, this guy is really good at replicating the original's voice. There's almost no change at all. These guys sound pretty much one-to-one to the original. Most reboots don't even manage to do this, so I'm very proud of them. But remember what Johnny Test is? It's a comedy. It's meant to make you laugh. Does it achieve this goal? Most of the time unintentionally. There are a few jokes that are pretty funny. When the original show was funny, it was because of all the one-liners, quick jokes that got a little chuckle out of me. And the reboot succeeds at this humor a lot better than the first, replacing a good chunk of the fart joke humor with a lot of the better stuff. They even made a whole joke about the whip cracks. Good to see that they can make fun of themselves a little. Oh yeah, and the fart humor. Oh boy, the fart humor. It was everywhere in the first and it was painfully unfunny. It's actually a breath of fresh air to see Johnny Test mainly focus on its writing and not waste it on super dumb jokes. Something that was very absent in the original. But I am very glad to see the reboot actually has some more brains. Don't get me wrong, there is still a lot of fart humor, but it can be skipped for episodes at a time, which I applaud them for doing that. But yeah, it's still there. What are you gonna do to make the kiddies laugh nowadays? So, what are my final thoughts? It's for sure better. It's definitely still Johnny Test, I'll give it that, but it's Johnny Test but better. Like I said, the original is about a 5 out of 10, but now it's more of a 6.5 out of 10. Surprising seeing Netflix doing something nowadays that isn't bad nor controversial. I think we all know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Netflix being controversial. The reboot is not at all perfect by a long shot, but compared to the original, it's better. And that was the whole question of this video. Is it better? Yes it is. It's fun and that's all it needed to be. All along, this is what Johnny Test should have been from the start. It's not great, but it's better. And being better than the first is all a reboot's purpose in the first place. Its main purpose is to top the first, and that's what it did. No longer mediocre, but now slightly okay. Actually, never mind, I just remembered Guy Moon is involved with this, so that means Butch Hartman is involved with this. Yeah, final ranking, 95 out of 10, best reboot ever.